People coming in.
Yeah. We normally just, we'll just give people 1 more minute to get going, and then we are ready to go. So all right, let's see. Muted, everything should be ready to go. So hello everybody, and thanks for joining this webinar. I'm Rune Fisker SVP of Product Strategy, and I also have a special guest today here, but he can introduce himself.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rune. My name's Dr. Ahmed Al-Hasni, guys. I'm from the Institute of Digital Dentistry, all the way over in Wellington, New Zealand. And yeah, I snuck into the 3shape HQ, and here I am, just gate crashing a little bit, but I'll leave it to Rune. This is going to be a really exciting webinar with a lot of really interesting things from 3shape.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We just want to be sure the sound is working. Yeah, that looks great. So thanks, Ahmed, and thanks for joining here today and having you visiting. So welcome today. This is the last fuels of IDS. It is basically what we're going to run today is the IDS latest and greatest presentation, which was actually identical to the press conference, covering all the different things, all the great innovations we launched at IDS. But let's get started here. So briefly about myself, I'm Rune Fisker. I'm SVP of Product Strategy at 3shape. What does that mean? That basically means I need to understand the customers, and I decide, of course, together with R&D, a lot of good colleagues, but ultimately decide what we develop at 3shape. I was also years ago the first employee in 3shape. I started in a one-room apartment together with the two founders. It looked like a garage, but it was a one-room apartment, and as you will see shortly, it's been a great and fantastic journey since then. I also been in dental since 2003, and I wake up in the morning to change the dentistry together. So what does 3shape do? I think most of you, of course, know that in this call here, but we make 3D scanners. We love our 3D scanners here, and we make software, CAD software from labs, from clinics, and also management software. On top of that, we also have a design service, own the biggest dental design service in the world, previously known as Full Contour, but today called 3shape Design Service. So a little bit more about 3shape here. So today we are more than 2,000 employees. So it's been quite a journey since we were 4 people down here, 3 people, until more than 2,000 people. It's still fun every day, and I love it. And I think it's great to make our small dent in the digital dentistry universe. So one thing you will notice if you look over to the side is that we have 650 people in development. So that means we are heavily committed today to development. We spend more than 10% of revenue on development, and innovation is our DNA, and we'll continue to innovate. And I hope you will be convinced also on today after the presentation that we'll keep doing that. We also have a lot of patents. We are in 27 locations, so it's really been a great ride. We have headquartered here in Copenhagen, so I'm actually here in Copenhagen, but we have a range of sites around the world. All right, let's not beat around the bush. We go straight to the first innovation, and I'm proud to introduce F8. F8 is basically a new lab scanner. You can actually see it right here next to me. It's a new 2-model lab scanner. It is great for efficiency, more versatility, and also more speed. But let's actually do a live demo. We have a long tradition in 3shape for actually doing live demos. So basically, you just put the 2 models in. So as you can hopefully see here, is we have 2 models. We scan them together. So it's minimal manual interactions. It's really scanning them with limited no interactions. You are not taking the dies out anymore, but basically scanning all of them in here. Also notice, I know you're not looking at point clouds every day, but this is a fantastic, beautiful point cloud. You will see up here in a second, really showing the accuracy and the power of the scanner. It will come up, you see it building up here. Notice how there's no no noise, very dense point cloud, and 4 micron accuracy according to the latest ISO standard. So beautiful scan. You can also see on the scanner here, it's open access. You will see a big benefit of that in 2 seconds. There's Ethernet connection, so you can actually scan from any computer here. If you have multiple computers, you can scan from any computer, and giving you access here. You cannot see it, of course, on the video, but there's really great build quality. This is true great engineering, and of course, you can also see, if you are familiar with our other scanners, that there is a different open design here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the models out, and we're basically going to scan the models in the articulator, fully articulated here. So just going to put it in. We're going to put it in here, and we're again just going to hit the next here. And you see nothing about tilting, nothing about models falling off or getting disconnected. They're basically put together here. We also have an extremely high accuracy on the byte, because you can basically see, if you look at the screen here, that we are scanning a lot of data here, capturing the full model, making us possible automatically to align the byte. And again, you will see here, with minimal human interactions, boom, we have a fully aligned case here and scanned with 4 micron accuracy. So a great new scanner that also shows our commitment to the labs. Here, we are still here. Many of our competitors stopped developing on lab, but we are still here to continue our strong commitment to lab. There's a lot of great tools in the box, great finish also here. And again, this is our new portfolio. And as you can see on the portfolio here, that we are basically taking away, if you know our portfolio very well, we are basically removing the E1 and shifting down the portfolio, meaning that we have really attractive pricing on the E2. And of course, also E3 and E4 has been more attractive priced. If you compare it with the previous only scanner in the world that could do 2 models at the same time, the D2000, you actually save a full working day per month because of faster workflows and faster scan to design time. All right, moving on to the next big introduction on IDS, which is basically 3shape LMS, so which is a lab management software. But let's just take a step back and look at the generations of digitalization on lab side. It started a while ago with scan design, central manufacturing. Noble Biocare pioneered that. We then moved to in-house digital manufacturing with milling in the lab. The next big step was iOS really coming in, but as we'll see later, massively growing now. You will also see we're really moving into 3D printing. Is one of the hottest topics in the whole category of digitalization. But what we really see as the 4th generation of digitalization is not just to design and produce digitally, but to digital manage your complete lab. And let's again take a step back. I think all lab people know this picture here is basically boxes with dipsum models, and sometimes there's also printed models in, and you don't really have an overview. Some of them are manual, as you see down here. Some of them are digital cases here, and it's really hard to find a case. And if you need to find a case, you need to go out and find the box. This is my favorite picture. Here you see a dashboard for on Tuesday and Wednesday and on Thursday here for how the lab is organizing their cases. And of course, in 2023, we can do that better, right? And we have a major pain point compared to purely analog is intraoral scans comes in from different intraoral scanners. We see communication going on WhatsApp, on email, on text. Some people are calling, and you need to manage all these different flows coming in non-compliant and disorganized ways. And by the way, typically always hitting, at least from a communication, the manager of the lab or the owner of the lab, not distributed down into the individual users, lab technicians. So what did 3shape do? We really recognized this major pain in the labs, and we thought, should we develop our own LMS? We could, of course, have done that, but instead to get faster to the market, we surveyed the market for the best product, which was basically LabStar. It's a proven for a product for 10 years. It's used by more than 600 labs, has great customer feedback, and is built on the latest cloud technology. This was not something that happened, if some of you saw the announcement, this was not something that happened a few months ago. We actually acquired that more than one and a half year ago. And since then, we have basically been ramping it up, rewritten some of the cloud code, and we are now ready for launch, which we are, of course, super excited about. So what does a lab management do? It allows you to organize every case. So you have all your cases, not just digital cases, not just triage cases, but all cases in the lab, also purely analog. It transforms your client relationship. You can really manage your client's expectations, delivery dates. If he's calling you, how will you find the case? And it streamlines every task. Who likes admin? There's much less admin using an LMS. But let's just take a fast live demo here again, 3shape style. So here you basically see 3shape LMS. The first thing, of course, you will do is you will create a new case. So let's just create a new case here. We take a patient. He's coming quite a lot into the lab. I will take patient, select the crown. Here we say tooth. We say full zirconia. We select the shade. And basically we are done. We have now created it in the cloud, in the 3shape LMS. We first, of course, will still need the box to move around, at least for the analog cases. And you here see the box page to be ready to be printed. And of course, you can do a number of other actions here. Also, another really cool thing here is the manufacturing manager. Here you can basically overview all your cases. There are different tiles here, but you can see here you have all your cases, and you can basically see if we, for instance, click here and received, you can see we just received the case we created. So you have a full overview of all your cases. You can go and add information into the case and so on. And again, one of my other favorite pages here is basically the production dashboard. So here you can see all the cases you have open in the lab. You can see over here, everything which is blue is on time. Everything that is green is behind the time. And you can see we're a little bit out of control here in this lab because we have a lot of cases that are delayed. That's because it's a demo account. But the red cases are ones that are behind. But of course, this gives you as a lab a complete opportunity to overview all your cases. But just a fast overview here. Let's move on. So when we look at one of the main pain points of labs is really communicating to the dentist. Also, when we look at what the big labs are doing, so what is Glidewell, Modern, Dandy, and some of the other mega labs doing? They are building platforms for the dentist where you can create a great experience. They can log in consumer style, see all the cases, communicate, see case status, tracking numbers. And what we are basically bringing you on top of 3shape LMS is a full platform for actually communicating and bringing that portal to your dentist, not just the triage dentist, not just the 3shape scans, but every case you have in your lab, your dentist will be able to, analog or digital dentist will be able to log on and see your case in here. We, of course, built even better workflows for triage, but let's just deep down a little bit in the app, into it. So, of course, we all know we have a phone here. And everybody knows that the dentist is hard to get hold on. So what we've basically done is an app here where you can view all his cases that is in the LMS. You can get full case overview. You can get statuses. You can get collaboration and add images. You can review the treatment designs, and we will be able to, provide invoices and statements and so on also up into the app. Here you can actually see there is already, this is the new version, totally rewritten for Communicate app, but there is here the possibility to download the app already today for Apple and for Android right here. But I think this takes it to the next level and really make the instant compliant communication. And again, also great workflow to add images. You don't have to go to all different kind of more or less a dodgy communication tool, WhatsApp, emails, and so on, which is for sure not compliant. All right, so what's the vision? The vision is basically to have the LMS, 3shape LMS, connect that with triage scanners, third-party intraoral scanners. We already have an agreement with CEREC. We have the communication, of course. We'll connect with the lab scanner, CAD design. I have given ExtraCAD an invitation to also be integrated. We will integrate to CAD, milling and 3D printing, manufacturing centers, design services, supplier web shops. And you can see we already have shipping companies. So if you use one of the main shipping companies, the tracking number will go all the way back to the dentist accounting system, and we can even handle credit card payment also already in the current version of LMS. So when will it be available? There is actually an open beta right now that you can join on the QR code here, or go to the 3shape LMS page. There's a super good free version which will be available in the fall. There's already the premium version out there right now, but the essential or the basic version there has a lot of the benefits that you will get, and it's only if you want to have more sophisticated interaction with your clients that you need the premium version. So go there, get started. There's also already a lot of people that signed up. All right, then looks into another mega trend. If we look into digital dentistry, I'll say the mega trend is IDS adaptation and booming. Yeah, generally, when you look at adaptation, it follows an S-curve on technology adaptation. For many years, it will go like this. It will be very steep for some years, and then it will go flat again on the last 5%. And you can see today we are around 25% growth, penetration globally. Some are on 40, some are less, but it really follows the S-curve adaptation, also in the plug-in numbers. So there's a massive, we are on the steep side right now. You can also see Trias cases grew 60-70% last year, and we are doing end of year, and actually also this year, more than 1.4 million Trias cases a month. So this is not a dream anymore. It's real. It's happening. Also, an additional data point here is that a very solid study on lab done end of last year shows today that 33% of all lab cases in the US are IOS. Also, we believe that digital will be much more than digital impression going forward, and we will ultimately scan every patient every time. Stay tuned for much more in this area. All right, then over to a launch I cannot avoid talking about. So that is Trias 5. It's a fantastic new scanner. I think there's a little doubt that defined a new standard for intraoral scanning in dentistry. It is economic, it is effortless, and it's hygienic. If you look into the actual scan here, you can see it's 30% smaller, it's 20% lighter than previous models, has some really cool functionality that you can now scan via the Wi-Fi. It's called Trias Share, which means that you don't have to push a cart or even worse, a table around. You're basically just carrying the scanner from room to room. So it's never been so easy to scan. I know Amit thinks that many scanners are easy to scan with. I still think that there are one that's easier than others, especially also on more advanced cases. But it's really independent scan strategy you can basically use without little learning here. There's no calibration anymore. For people that has a scanner today, you know it's painful to calibrate, and there's a range of other improvements also. Finally, we set a new hygienic level for intraoral scanners. This has 510K clearance, which only one other scanner in the world can do, and no one else has autoclavable scan chip. There's a body sleeve on, and it's really designed for great cleaning. So in total, there's more than 50 improvements. We think it's a great scanner. We hope you will love it as much as we do. We really love this fantastic product. It's great what you can. Here we also. It's not just us that think it's great. There's also, I think we can say, we have done a clean table. So Ahmed actually gave us the prize for iOS of the year in 2022. Also best product design. Here we also won the prize for best imaging product in the US. We won best technology launch of the year in UK and innovation of the year in UK. So I think it's fair to say that we did a clean table on the prizes that are handed out. So it's not just us that think it's a great product. We have a lot of people thinking that, also independent reviewers. All right, so fantastic hardware. But at the end of the day is what you can do with the scanner, right? What workflows do you have? What connections do you have? And here we have invested heavily on building an ecosystem that is not just containing, the 3shape apps and thousands of labs. It's also with 3D printers and mills. It's practice management system. We are now approaching 40 practice management systems. We have clear liners. It was 3shape Unite was founded together with the Straumann Group, Henry Schein and Ivor Clar, and we also have sleep and more. And as you will see in 2 seconds here at IDS, we came with 8 new announcements just on workflows, integrations, and every week, every day. I mean, we got millions is not true, but a lot of contacts also at IDS, people coming up all the time asking us to integrate. So this is not just about having a great scanner. I'm just reading a book on strategy right now, and here saying companies don't compete, or the author argue companies not competing, it's ecosystem that competes. And I think this is very true. It's about how many people you have, how many companies are you partnering with to build strong ecosystems. And I think this is a completely important part of selecting a great intraoral scanner. All right, so let's move on to actually one of the major announcements. So if you look at AI is a mega technology trend. This is how we get cars to drive, how we get images recognized, how we talk to computers. I mean, I talk to my Alexa every day, and I'm still amazed about how much I understand. I'm still talking to my wife also, so don't be too concerned. But when we look at AI in dental, there's actually been a lot of progression lately. I think one of the most impressive innovations is actually 3shape Automate. What is 3shape Automate? 3shape Automate is 100% AI design service. So what is it? You can take a scan from a TRIA scanner or others, you upload that to the cloud without any human interactions. It will just find the margin line, it will design the crown, and it will give you a result. So does it work? A lot of people claim AI. We have just 2 weeks ago, passed 1 million cases that have been downloaded. You don't pay if you don't like. So when you upload the case, if you don't accept, then you will not pay. We have an acceptance rate on 92%. So I think this is pretty mind-blowing. And the whole announcement today is that we are integrating on 3shape Unite. So here you basically see with TRIAs. So here you basically see the workflow. Here you click Automate, the Automate app or the Automate workflow. You select, like you normally do, your different materials here. Also notice now actually that you can select the shade also now with TRIA, so you can actually measure the shade if you look very fast. Then we do the scanning, and here we have done the TV chef trick, which is basically to shorten the scan lid. This is a standard scan. We go to 3shape Automate. It will automatically now upload to the cloud. The web page will be embedded in it's a 100% cloud, and we basically embed the cloud into Unite here. We design, you can select times, design parameters. You can see how it's progressing in Unite here. And it's basically done. You can see a fast review here on margin line and occlusal design. You can accept it if you want, or you can also go on and edit it. There's now a full-blown cloud editor that both run on Unite, but also run on any web browser you want to exit with. And here you can see you have very powerful design tools. I was just playing with it recently. I must say, I've been sculpting a lot over the last many years, and I'm impressed with the performance you have here. The performance is equally matching what you have in standard on-prem CAD softwares here. When you are done, you basically can accept it, and you are basically downloaded it into 3shape Unite here. Or you can also just have downloaded out of the web page. And you see here down in Unite, you basically have the crown down now. All right, moving over to the next big announcement here. So just taking a step back, one of the other mega trends I really see in digital dentistry is the digital twin, where we create digital twins. It's not just a trend in dentistry, but across industries, is to create a digital twin. And in this case, of course, really creating a digital twin of the patient. So what we have done here is that we have integrated now the workflow, both with TRIAs, but also for dental system on ModJaw. Here, ModJaw is, as you can see over here, it's a jaw motion device, in my opinion, the best jaw motion device on the market here. And you can basically take that over to the lab software. You can include TRIAs over here. You can take it over to the lab software, and you can basically replay the motions to design higher quality restorations. And again, yet another step in building the digital twin of the patient. So another important integration, again, showing the power of ecosystems. In total, we announced eight new announcements, integrations at IDS here. We had Automate, we have Module, we have the biggest PMS in the world. I heard just today that they had 70,000 users, clinics. We have Reveal, clear liner from Henry Schein. We have Lyra Guide, guide company, a good reseller of 3shape, guide company in France. We have HeySmile, Planmega clear liners. We have dental imaging, and we have exact practice management system here. And that was just in 1 week. Every week there's coming new integrations. So, and this is again the power of an open ecosystem. All right, let's move over to the last introduction here. It's basically 3shape Produce. And what is 3shape Produce? Let's just again take one step back. If you look at our CAD design packages today, the output is coming out in many different ways, not just from 3shape, but also from third parties, right? And basically what 3shape produces is aligning this. So here you see how everything is basically Implant Studio, Dental Designer, 3shape Design Services, 3shape Automate is basically all gonna flow 3shape Produce and into mills and 3D printers. And let's just take a step back and look at the vision here. So what is it we are trying to do here? You all know how to print a document, right? You click print, you have a piece of paper, it comes out of your printer. You click produce, you have an STL file or CAD design, you click produce, it comes out on your printer. So this is what we are trying to make it, to try to achieve with 3shape Produce. As easy as printing paper, it should be as easy to print CAD designs. And of course, again, in combination with AI, this will lift us to a complete new level. But let's do again a small demo here. So here you basically see 3shape Model Maker. We have basically taken a scan, actually one of my colleagues sitting in here. We have, without any human interaction, upload that to the cloud, and back is coming 100% AI generated model. So and now we are in Produce. Of course, we have a number of different machines here available. You can actually see the machine is green, so it means it's connected, it's available. And with just by clicking send, you're basically sending it over to the mill. And let's see here what happens then on the milling side is that it's automatically nested. Everything is ready here for producing within a short time. And you basically say send to printer. We're even going to remove that page, that steps here, so it just goes straight to the printer. But the whole idea is to make it as easy as printing paper to print models. And again, combined with AI, this lifted to a complete new level. So fair question, which printers and mills are we working with? So we are announcing here together with a strong portfolio of the leading printers and mills. So the Sika, Formlabs, Ivoclar, RapidShape, of course, SprintRay, and on the milling side, VHF and DD Shape or Roland. So when will it be available? It will be available within a month. So it's not just a dream, it's coming out. So stepping back and looking at our announcement here at IDS, what did we announce? F8, 3shape LMS. Again, we still do strong innovation on the lab side. We have 8 different integration and partnerships, and we have a 3shape Produce with 7 partners again, making it as easy as printing paper. So this is super exciting. We are proud. If you look around at IDS, if you're at IDS, you can take my word for a few, if any, other companies launched and announced the same amount of innovations in the digital space. So let's change that together. Thank you so much. All right. So we will be happy to take some questions. And also if Ahmed, yeah.
Look, I think on behalf of everyone, I want to thank you, Rune. That was an amazing presentation, and no doubt it's an exciting time for digital dentistry, and it's quite amazing seeing 3shape spearheading all of this, especially for me. I think the AI features are quite exciting. So thanks again for your time, and thanks for letting me gate crash this.
Thanks for coming, and I think stay in if people have questions for you also.
Sure.
Please. We'll just stop sharing here. So and get the Q&A up here. So any questions or comments? Yeah, so we'll just take them from the start here, and again, just write into the chat. So is there any orthodontic software update? That's a great answer because we actually didn't cover that in the latest and greatest here. But just yesterday, we released the biggest release ever of 3 years treatment simulator. So the TTS. So it gives you better setups, it gives you better colors, and it gives you better visualization and so on. So yes, there was a major orthodontics announcement coming yesterday. It was actually also possible to see it at IDS. So, hey, Damien, good to see you. When will you see a cloud service for redundancy and easy access from anywhere? That's a great question. Marketing always tell me to be specific on what I say on this topic. We are, of course, working on it. And it is, you see, beta, sorry, that's not true. Alpha is running as we speak. So it is within reach. It's coming soon. And of course, that will be the next natural step where all cases will live in the cloud. So of course, that's a major thing we have to get upgraded.
A huge push for dentistry to go into the cloud.
No, for sure. I mean, everything goes into the cloud, and you also, you are fully, you have commented on that also, of course. When is Modjo going to be available in 3shape? So Modjo, there's 2 Modjo integrations. There's one thing which is under Unite, sending from Trias into Modjo. It's actually available within a few weeks. I think you can maybe already join now. On the dental system, it comes with dental system 2023, which is targeting a May-June release, most likely end of May or start of June. All right. And are any plans on working to integrate with Sirona mills? It's a fantastic question.
The $1 million question.
The $1 million question, exactly. We also discussed that earlier today, right? What do you think you should do?
I mean, for Sirona's case or 3shape's case? I think ideally, look, Dentsply Sirona obviously has one of the better chairside solutions just purely because of their mill and everything. And ideally, they come to party and open it up to the market. But
I can say so much that there is discussions ongoing. They do selectively open it up for certain people. I think it's unavoidable that they need to open it up. When they will be ready, when they will be mature, and when they will be truly open, time will show. Fingers crossed. We are pushing what we can do on this. Yeah, exactly. All righty. What is the best performance for dental system and dental designer? CPU, quantity, and frequency. I'm sorry, I don't remember that out of my head. It is on the web page here. You can find it straight on the 3shape web page if you search for it. There's also a search function on the 3shape web page. But it's mainly, I mean, it's not mind-blowing what you need, but especially if you do big cases, it's very important you have sufficient RAM and sufficient graphic card to achieve high performance.
It has to be one of the most common FAQs ever.
Yeah.
Hardware questions.
No, exactly. And especially PC questions. Online shopping is available to all customers. I'm not sure I fully understand the question, but I will try to interpret it, okay? So what we have is a web shop. So we are selling direct in the US, Canada, and 5 major countries in Europe, sorry. We are selling direct where you can buy online. And that's available. I hope that was an answer to your question. Yes, I mean, if you can PM me if you're connected to me on Facebook. You can PM me, and I will send you the specs. You can PM me on Messenger.
It was another hardware question.
Yeah, I think it's the same. It's basically the same guy asking a little bit more details. I think that's correct. I think it even looked like you're overdoing it. From a clinician point of view, what's the main update? I think the main updates are the lab stuff, but otherwise, of course, Trias 5 has been around for a while. Then there's all the power of the open ecosystem. And you saw 8 announcements. There was actually more announcement this week with new integrations coming out. And of course, then 3shape Produce, single click from design to printing. And of course, all powered with AI on the design side. So I think the best scanner, we have strongest open ecosystem, still developing rapidly. And of course, AI and CAD tools that I think no one else can show a million AI crowns accepted and put into the mouth of patients.
And I think as a clinician myself,
Yeah.
the biggest interesting thing when we went through this together that really blew my mind was just closing the entire loop.
Sure.
And I think just the fact that you go from, because we've always mentioned for clinicians, a lot of clinicians, they don't want to do CAD.
Sure.
For whatever reason, they're scared of it, even if it's very easy. And so now we have a great scanner, we have Automate, bridging the gap, and that only will get better with time.
Of course.
Doing more and more indications. And then to really close the loop, you have 3shape Produce, which is really interesting for me, and I look forward to testing it. And that would just make such an amazing workflow, in my opinion, to really make it efficient in the clinic to go from scan to whatever indication you want, AI designed, and then print or mill. That's
Totally
the mind-blowing stuff.
I love it too. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for giving your view on it. I think also, which we didn't talk so much about, but really what we see out there when we look out at the digital landscape in the clinic is that there's all these disconnected islands, right? And what we're really trying to do at 3shape, and I think has shown more commitment to than anyone else, is trying to connect the digital islands. From the 40 PMS integrations, we had 0 1.5 years ago to all the other integrations we are doing. But good question. All right. Yeah, there's another question here, compatibility with the Xerox system. Yes. Fingers crossed, we are talking to them. Let's see how fast they move. Any integration dynamic navigation? Yes, so we always, good question. It's funny because there was a lot of interest of dynamic navigation a few years ago, right? It's still there, but I think it's a little bit flattened out. But yes, we have already today XNav integration. So there's already today XNav integration, and you can go in. As far as I remember, you have a Trias scanner, so you can go in and check in the shop and look for XNav. Any plans to make it easier to export cases from Unite third-party formats? Also a good question. I mean, it's reasonably easy today to right-click and say export, but I agree with you, the right way would be to have an export app. So you just click it, click on the app, and you export. It's on the team's list. It's purely a question of prioritization, but of course it should be easy to export. All right. Any aligner software updates?
A lot of interest in aligners.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's just in full transparency, around 10% of all Trias cases goes to aligner companies. And we sent just this year, we have sent us a 6-digit number of cases to Invisalign.
Invisalign's disgusting.
Last year we sent more than 400,000 cases to Invisalign. Last year it's not all single cases, but Invisalign did 2 million cases last year, so it's actually close to 20% of all cases, or 15 to 20% of all cases come from Trias. So there's a lot of more integrations going on. There's also weekly new integrations on the clear aligner with clear aligner manufacturers. And again, the biggest, you can say, announcement right here now is the improvement of Trias treatment simulator for simulation. This is one of the most popular app, actually the most popular app on the clinic side for people to use.
What about the ortho software itself? Is that still?
Yeah. So we are developing quite a big effort on the Clear Aligner Studio software, but it was a while ago. There's a launch coming up for that within a reasonable future, but it's not right now for that. But we are still investing heavily on Clear Aligner Studio. All right. This web shop will be available in South Africa. No, not at the moment. I don't think there's no plans for that commercially. All right. Do you consider integrate BiteFinder to Trias? We love to integrate everyone that's relevant to Trias. I'm not on top of like every integration we are discussing. I have seen their name on a list, but to be transparent, I'm not into all the details discussion of the status of each integration. But short answer, yes. If you have any connections, feel free to send it to us or push it to them.
And these bite tools are getting more and more popular. It's crazy.
Sorry. Yeah, for sure. No, it's a great tool. I have also a dentist just around the corner here that loves it. Is there any plans to make it easier to export files? Again, yes, we are working on that. There will be I promise you, there will be an app. It's on the priority list. There's a few other things on the priority list, as you can probably imagine. All right. Do you have any face scanner for recommendation to be able to connect to the labs of
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Do we put one of these up again?
Yeah. So I think ultimately I was a great fan of Belus 3D. I helped them a lot. I taught them dental. I brought them a lot of connections. For me, the end game is to have a face scanning app on the phone, and you just do like this, either yourself or you do it like this. I have seen 2 apps at IDS, which I think were really good. They're coming out. There was also a range of face scanners out there with mixed results. I just think it's a very high price to pay 5,000 to 20,000, which was the price range I heard for a face scanner, when all can be done on the phone. But of course, we need it to be super easy integrated and great. But yes, there will be face scanning in the future. Ultimately, I think we will face scan everybody, right? Or at least for the major cases. Do you want to comment anything on the face scanning there?
I've tried a few, and look, I agree that I think for face scanning, it's inevitable in some sense to use, especially for bigger cases.
Yeah, for bigger cases.
I think some clinicians may, not understand what a face scanner is for. Essentially, veneers, anything that involves a smile.
Yeah, of course.
Cosmetic cases for large. Now, right now, there's a big hole in the market, definitely. Yeah. With Belus exiting, there's really just a few products on the market, and I know a lot of companies are looking at it seriously. And without a doubt, something on the phone would just make it easy to get into the clinics of everyone around the world. But
we'll see. It's for sure a hot topic also at IDS. How many face scanners did you see? That was
face scanners, 3.
3
face scanners.
Yeah, okay. I think it's 4, but we can 3 to 4.
Compare notes later.
Yeah, we can compare notes later. Okay. Do you have any special offers at this moment? Yes, there is an IDS campaign running, but you really need to be fast because it ends this month here. For a total reseller, there's an IDS campaign running as we speak. I am planning to revamp the training portal and remove all videos. Okay, that's a good question. That's a fantastic question. I will pass that on to the Academy team. Thanks for that question. So the short answer, we should definitely do that. Any tips on how to easily clean when the dust get inside the tip? We have some different, we are just posting a video on how to clean it, even easier, also inside the tip. We see surprisingly few comments about it, but of course you can get unlogging on it. Hey Charles, good to see you. Yes, and I know you're from Lyra, so I'm glad to see you also happy with the Lyra integration. Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the engagement. Question is always a great example of people have something on their heart, and if anyone was interesting. And again, thanks Ahmed for joining today. It was a great experience to have you here. Take care, everybody, and let's chase them together.
See you later, guys.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Recording stopped.